Has the federal obsession with bilingualism gone from bad to stark raving mad? Viewers of Adler Nation have been outraged by Commissar Graham Fraser's language police pursuing KGB-style secret shopping missions to spy on private businesses. Look, we've repeatedly asked the Commissar Graham Fraser to join us here to explain why tax dollars are being spent. It clearly oversteps his bounds. Here's the response we got today from Nelson Khalil, Manager, Media Relations Office of the Official Commissioner. All right? Today, he told us this ship has sailed. His words, the ship has sailed, and if we keep talking about the secret shoppers, they won't be secret. The ship has sailed. Folks, we better sink this gunboat before it becomes a navy. We here at Sun News aren't the only ones seeking an explanation from the Commissar. But I recently spoke with Beth Trudeau, no relation to our former Prime Minister. She's a spokesperson for Canadians for Language Fairness. And she described what her organization is all about.
Canadians for Language Fairness is a group of English and French-speaking Canadians who oppose bilingual sign bylaws, who believe in fairness of language, who believe in the right of people to work and gain employment based on their capabilities, not the language that they speak. They're for fairness.
I imagine you weren't crazy about Commissar, the Official Language Commissioner, we call him Commissar, Fraser, and his latest antics sending in secret shoppers to determine what kind of service people were getting in French in the private sector in Ottawa. What was your take on that, Beth?
Well, actually, Charles, we've been under this more and more in Eastern Ontario since 2007 out in Russell Township, which is just 20 minutes east of Ottawa. It actually borders Ottawa. We had an event where La Fédération des Signes francophones held a protest inside the beer store in Embrun and harassed the employees at the beer store to the point they had to call the Embrun police, who moved the people along and put down on their report there was no need to have been called, but they did not talk to any of the employees at the beer store. And our mayor, Ken Hill, and Councillor Lorraine DeCare were involved in this protest, and they were protesting lack of bilingual signage inside the beer store. The same group has gone into the Dollarama and are harassing them, wanting the products to be more English, more French. This federation gets our tax dollars to sit there and decide how to harass English-speaking businesses and employees.
My guess is that you've been proactive about this and that you've contacted the Commissar, but I shouldn't make any assumptions. Have you contacted Mr. Fraser?
The CLF has asked numerous times for meetings. He refuses. He was actually set up twice with a gentleman who is in charge of another language group for a debate on Rogers Television Network, and both times the commissioner backed out at the last moment.
So Mr. Fraser doesn't either take you seriously or doesn't want to have any kind of public clash?
Mr. Fraser does not want to consult with any English-speaking Canadians. Even though it's called the Official Languages Act, there's nothing English about it. Everything, all these linguistic roadmaps and everything like that that they use our billions of dollars for, have nothing to do with the English language. It's all to do with the French language. It's social engineering, plain and simple.
So in your mind and the mind of your organization, Canadians for Language Fairness, is official bilingualism about making the whole country bilingual, or is official bilingualism about making sure that Anglophones understand that if they want to do business with the federal government, or if they want to do business even in the private sector in Ottawa, they better buckle down and learn as much French as possible?
Well, in 1973, Serge Royal, who was the ambassador to France under Trudeau, said that Canada was going to be one nation from coast to coast, a French nation from coast to coast. And Trudeau himself said that unilingual Anglophones were destined to a lifetime of job and mobility.
Beth, everyone is going to note that your last name is Trudeau, so I want you to just talk to me a little bit about having that name and what that has meant to people that you've been dealing with. Do you get giggles that someone by the name of Trudeau would not exactly be a friend of bilingualism? Just wondering, Beth.
Well, it certainly hasn't French that are opposed to freedom of speech, it makes it hard for them to bash the name that they so look up to. Trudeau was their hero, basically. I'm part, actually, Trudeau is my married name. I'm actually part English, Irish, Scottish, and Welsh. My in-laws are the most wonderful in-laws anyone could have, and they are French. My father-in-law is Francophone, and he totally believes in freedom of speech and is totally opposed to what any Official Languages Act, anything under the Official Languages Department. It should be done away with.
So is that the position of Canadians for Language Fairness, that the department, the Official Languages Act, should be trashed, and all of the various bureaucrats like Graham Fraser who are part of the apparatus, that they should just be kiboshed?
They already come out with figures saying that we're spending billions of dollars on French language training in the federal government. They don't even include in those figures the cost of the replacement workers for those positions while they go on French language training. So when you consider it all, we're talking trillions of dollars. We've got bridges falling down in Quebec. We've got roads that are in horrible, horrible state of repair in Ontario as well as Quebec. Money could be used better. I don't want my taxes going to take away freedom of speech for anyone.
Beth Trudeau, Canadians for Language Fairness.